This is the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Welcome, race fans! The Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, September 19th. No, September 10th. I saw the 9 there. Hi, guys. Yeah. Trying to do. See, this is why I told you I can't talk and think and do things at the same time. It doesn't work out for me. Scott Hammer with you, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser, the Hammer Down Racing Report team.
Hey, y'all.
Once again, tonight on the show, we will be speaking with Matt Foos. Who is going for, again, I was pushing buttons here and talking and trying to think at the same time. Doesn't work for me. But he's running for the 305 Attica Fremont Championship title. He sits third in points. Currently, I think it's like 8 points back. I have it somewhere in my notes here. But he's close there behind Paul Weaver and Jamie Miller. So tight battle going into the final weekend of AFCS. We'll be talking to him in a little bit. I'm not sure if he's going to join us on here so we can actually see him or if we're going to be calling in. I gave him both options, so he may be ringing in here in about 12 minutes or so. So stick around for that. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Toledo City Paper is having their best of again. And Jerry, you may not know this, but the first year we did this show, we actually made it into the finalists for that. We didn't win, but just to get nominated in our first year, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We still don't know what the hell we're doing, but we got nominated, and it was pretty cool for the Toledo City Paper Best of deal, and that is going on right now. They're taking nominations. So if you want to help us out, I don't know. Do we want to go through the hassle of doing this, Ron?
Sure. It's important to us, Scott. Of course we do.
Ron's all in, so you can head on over to our Facebook page at some point. I have a pinned post with the link to where you can nominate for the media thing. I could show you, but I'm not going to right now. But it's the we're under the media classification. Scroll on down. Podcast is one of the lower ones on the page, but you just type in Hammer Down Racing Report, 4 words, and that would help us out a lot. And if you have multiple computers with different connections, I'm not sure if they track the IPs or how they tell that you can only nominate once. But if you go to a different computer and you go to that page and it lets you put us in again, cool. If not, and it still says what you already put in, then obviously you can't do it again. So I know last time I think it was email addresses, but I think they're catching on to things, trying to cut down on the cheating. So we appreciate that. I'm not sure how long the nominations go for. Probably November, I think. It was December.
We're going to assume that our listeners are the greatest in the world, and they're going to go on and nominate us. And then for a month or so, we're going to be begging them
to vote every day
for us.
Yeah, if you can vote daily.
Vote early, vote often.
Yeah, once That's the nomination, if we're one of the nominees.
Nominee.
Thank you. Yeah. Then you can vote daily, but that's once they announce the nominees. But that'll be a couple months. So. Right now, just go get us nominated, and you're done until they actually have the finalists, and we'll let you know what to do from there.
It's on our Hammer Down page. You can go to just Toledo City Paper /nominate. I'm sure if you just go to Toledo City Paper, you can navigate through it. Our listeners are the best.
And while you're there, Best meteorologist in Toledo is one of the categories. So give Ryan Weekman a shout out. We have the weekend weather pit stop coming up as well.
Well, we'll see what his pit stop says before I vote for him.
No. Well, all right. I got to thank our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this since we don't have a studio anymore. Now we have the Hammer Down Racing Report home studio. Everybody's in their home studios. So in order to do this, it costs some money for this whole video thing that we do here. And we appreciate all the sponsors. Ron Miller Race Cars up in Lambertville, Michigan. 734-856-7223. He's been working on my car all week, but he's done now, so now he can handle some other things, right, Ron?
I'm semi-done. There's a couple little things for the car owner to deal with.
You didn't tell me that. Great. Thanks to Oakshade Raceway. We're the fastest meet the race every Saturday night, and this Saturday is season championship night at Oakshade Raceway for all 4 classes. Kester Mowing, Steve Kester came out here earlier today. I got a quote for getting some tree branches trimmed. So another one of the services that Kester Mowing does. Give me a very very fair quote on that. So I'm going to have him come out and cut some of my dead limbs out of this place. But for all your lawn landscaping needs, mowing, seeding, fertilizing, insect, weed control, more, give Steve a call. 419-466-3801. Tell him the Hammer Down Racing Report sent you. He's been pretty busy this summer, he said. So he even does concrete, I found out. But he's been too busy this summer to do that. So Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Shout out to them, 419-547-1444. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report and get 10% off your order. There you go. There's your crawl. Millstream Speedway as well. And Ron was talking here before we came on. Apparently, got some inside information on Millstream Speedway.
They are very close. They are very close to making an announcement. That's
and I don't know what that announcement is. So
good. Looking forward to it. And Steve Schloss, thank you for nominating us on Toledo City Paper.
Yeah, thank you. So make sure to follow Millstream Speedway. Keep an eye on their website, millstreamspeedway.net, or follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and keep up to date on whatever that announcement may be. But racing at some point will return to the historic track down there in Findlay.
Despite all the trash talk that's been going on, they are absolutely committed. And while we're on that subject, Scott, if you've got something to say about racing, try to keep it positive.
Unless you're not a racing fan.
Yeah, well, these racetracks are struggling as it is. And, Scott down at Millstream is up against it really tough. And all I can say is just be positive, folks.
All right, positive Ron. How about we check out that racing roundup, all the racing action from this past weekend, Jerry?
We can do that. First, I want to give a shout out to Randy, the president of the Randy LaJoy fan club, Dwayne Hancock, with us tonight, watching from home. So happy to have Dwayne with us. Let's get into it. Attica Raceway Park. Tim Schaefer got his first All-Star Circuit of Champions win since February of 2019 last Friday night, the first night of the Attica Ambush. Led all 40 laps. Mike Bors won the late model feature. And then Rico Abreu fought off Aaron Reitzel to win the Saturday night portion of the program and pocketed $10,000. Attica point leader Cap Henry finished third. He and Cap went on to win Sunday's Pete Jacobs Memorial at Wayne County Speedway. Paul Weaver got his sixth win of the year in the 305s at Attica. The All-Stars are at Port Royal Speedway in Pennsylvania tonight through Saturday. Moving on to Oakshade Raceway, Devin Shields earned his second late model feature of the win on Saturday night. Bruce Stewart picked up his second sportsman feature of the win of the year. Bubba Kundick picked up the Bomber A-Main, his first A-Main win of the year since last year's Bomber Spectacular. Kurt Dickey won the Bomber B, and we had a C-Main on Saturday up at Oakshade with Josh Overmeyer picking up that win. Kevin Murday won his first compact feature of the win as well. The compact feature was something else. Those guys definitely putting on a great show. Let's see here. Moving on, the World of Outlaw Morton Building Late Model Series. Brandon Overton picked up his 18th feature win of the year at Livonia Speedway Friday night. Overton then went on to win the main event the following night, Saturday at Lancaster Motor Speedway, winning by over 3 seconds over Ricky Weiss. Next up for the World of Outlaw Late Models, the Eric Witherite Memorial on Friday, September 25th, and a second show at Thunder Mountain Speedway in Knoxdale, Pennsylvania on Saturday, September 26th. The Lucas Oil Late Models were in action. Jonathan Davenport notched his third Lucas Oil Late Model Series win of the season on Friday in the 16th annual John Bradshaw Memorial at Ponderosa Speedway. Hudson O'Neill celebrated his 20th birthday by winning the Bob Miller Memorial at Portsmouth Raceway Park on Saturday. Next up for the Lucas Oil Late Models, the Al Bell Custom Homes I-80 Nationals at I-80 Speedway in Greenwood, Nebraska on Thursday through Saturday, September 17th through the 19th. The World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars were in action. Sheldon Hodenshield blew a right rear tire while leading with 9 laps left Saturday night at Hussett Speedway. Other drivers were suffering a lot of the same fate. Sounds like the Kings Royal of several years back at Eldora, where everybody kept blowing right rear tires. But with that, Hodenshield was able to challenge back up and back to Kyle Larson for the lead within 4 laps. Larson was able to get by as Hod had a fresh right rear tire. And he also, Larson blew a right rear tire. Hodenshield went in to pick up that win. Larson redeemed himself the next night at Hussett's, winning the big $20,000 to win show. Next up, Boot Hill Showdown at Dodge City Raceway Park on September 11th and Saturday, September 12th. The ARCA Menard Series, 17-year-old Sam Mayer took the lead away from Haley Deegan on a late restart to win the Zinsser Smart Coat 200 at Lebanon I-44 Speedway in Missouri. Next up for the ARCA Menard Series, Toledo Speedway this weekend. The NASCAR Cup Series, or Xfinity Series, Denny Hamlin tried a slide job on Ross Chastain for the lead late in the Sport Clips Haircuts VFW 200 at Darlington on Saturday. Hamlin cleared Chastain, but carried too much speed and got into the wall. Chastain plowed into the rear of Hamlin, and Brandon Jones was able to sneak by both of them to pick up the win. Ben Rhodes won Sunday afternoon South Carolina Education Lottery 200 Gander RV and Outdoor Truck Series race at Darlington. Kevin Harvick, who is on a roll, capitalized on the contact between Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott to win Sunday's Cookout Southern 500 while battling for the lead. Harvick took the big win. Next up for the Cup Series, the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond on this Saturday on NBC Sports Network and Buckeye Country 103.7. The Xfinity Series is back in action. The Gold Bowling 250 Friday night at 7 p.m. And then the Virginia is for Racing Lovers 250 at Richmond on Saturday, both on NBC Sports Network. Truck Series, the Toyota Care 250 at Richmond on tonight at 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. With that, that's your racing roundup for this week.
All right, good timing. I'm sorry, I was on the phone. Matt Foos just called in, so some good timing there. Before we get to that, I wanted to mention about the ARCA Menard stuff. We talked to Scott Schultz, and Ron had a quote that he said last week that Scott used. Do you remember what that quote was, Ron?
Well, is this a test?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me.
No, I don't remember. It was something about race fans will do what race fans need to do.
Race fans will do whatever they have to do to keep the racing going.
There you go. All right, let's bring it up.
Real quick, Scott.
Yeah.
Steve Schloes wondered what the car count might be for Toledo Speedway's ARCA race when we had Scott Schultz.
Spoiler alert! I'm not going to say what it is because I don't know, but that could be tonight's how many.
Well, Scott Schultz did mention that it was a combination event between the ARCA Menards Series and the ARCA East, so they were expecting significantly better car count than the previous races this year.
All right. Let's shift gears now and talk some Attica Fremont Championship Series racing. Final weekend is this weekend, and hopefully we have Matt Foos. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right.
That pause scared me, Scott.
It's all good. Before we talk about where you're at in points and everything and how your season has gone, give us a little bit of a background on your racing career.
Yeah, kind of started when I was 10 years old. My dad used to race four-wheelers, and he got out of that. And me and my brother picked up go-kart racing at about 10 and 11, and we've been just trucking away ever since. Been dirt trucking and sprint car in. About anything I can get in, I try to race.
And how long, I don't know how old you are, so how long ago was that when you got into racing?
I'm 29 now, so I was 10 years old when I started.
So you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I've got a few experiences under my belt.
So this year has been kind of a weird year as far as racing goes. I know Fremont started a little bit later than even Attica. But I mean, did you even think at the beginning of this year you'd get to do any racing?
Truthfully, I didn't even have a ride at the beginning of this year. I missed the first two races at Attica. Didn't even have a ride. Wasn't honestly intention. I didn't even want to race. I was just golfing and just enjoying my weekends. You know, that was my first year off, really, of either working on a race car or racing a race car. So it was kind of nice to take the time off, but just randomly got a call during the weekday one week to come race. So we've been going gung-ho ever since.
So who were you racing for? Tell us about that.
I raced for Jamie Adams, a guy I raced for in the past. So it's kind of like doing the etch-a-sketch and starting all over again. But so it was kind of cool to pick up where we left off of and people that we knew. But raced for Jamie Adams, so.
Okay. Now, your brother also races, DJ there. He's leading the 410 points at Fremont. Do you guys help each other out much there?
Really, it's kind of hard because he's a 410 guy and I'm a 305 guy. Really, I can just rely on him because usually they go out first in the night for their features. So I just kind of rely on him to kind of give me some info on how the track is changing, what's better. You know, that's kind of a big thing, but I can't really help him much. But
well, you never know. You can go out and cheer for him, right? Support him.
Oh yeah, I do every weekend.
So you're going into this weekend, the final weekend of the AFCS champion. Well, the final weekend of the AFCS, both Fremont and or Attica Friday. Fremont is the final night on Saturday. So you got two events. You were 8 points behind Paul Weaver, who's had an incredible year, and Jamie Miller right there as well. What kind of chances do you give yourself of sneaking ahead of those two and stealing that championship this weekend?
Well, I feel like we got really good chances. You know, I think about 4 weeks ago there, maybe we put a different car together. We was kind of struggling with the car that we had, even though we had a win on it. But just what we do to the car, it wasn't consistently giving us back those results and changes. And so I put together one of my brother's old original 305 cars, so a 14-year-old car. And he's been having really, really good results with it. And it just feels really good. And, you know, there early in the season, we didn't really have the foot speed we needed to keep up with Miller and Weaver. But I feel like we're really on to something now. And then running consistent in the slick. And I feel like we've got a really good shot at stealing up the title.
So you got a 14-year-old car. How old was the car you were using prior to that?
It was a brand new 2019 car.
Oh, those new ones are junk. You need to go for that old stuff. That's the best.
Yeah, they always
old stuff is good, Scott. Trust me.
Hey, Matt, coming into this weekend, just a quick question: are you going in looking at it from a just chasing the point standpoint and trying to points race and pick every point up you can, or are you going for it basically balls to the wall and trying to win?
I mean, at the end of the day, you don't ever want to go backwards. You got to remember that you got to keep the car at the height well on the fairway because you still got to race Saturday too. But you know, I want to go out there. I want to put effort into this weekend to go out and try to do this deal. And you know, with the points the way they are, you really do have to get in the game. From the time you buy the pit pass, the heat race points and all that stuff. And so yeah, you know, I want to go out there balls to the wall, but we still got to keep a race car to race.
So who would you say your biggest challenge is going into this weekend, Jamie or Paul or both?
I mean, there's 15 guys that can win on any given night in our series. So there's anything can happen, and I just try to focus on myself and my car and my guys and doing our job that night.
Okay. Do you have any rivalries with anybody that kind of doesn't like you?
Honestly, I don't think so. Anything happens. I mean, racing deals happen, but I don't think so. Not as of now, but you know, stuff always screws up. But that's fine. I sleep real good at night every night.
All right. Anything you're doing special to prepare for this weekend? Preparing the 14-year-old car.
We're actually at the shop right now. Dad just got out here. We're setting ride heights, getting ready to throw her in the box. So we've been out here all week trying to do everything with a fine-tooth comb so nothing bad happens.
And is there any strategy that you have? I know Jerry kind of asked this a minute ago, but going into the weekend, you know, are you gonna do anything different between Attica and Fremont, or just kind of go for it both places?
We'll see where everything lays out, you know, qualifying and all that stuff. Not really a big of a worry on Friday because we deal with the field draw, but you know, we'll have to see how qualifying goes on Saturday night, and you know, just play it by ear. See where we start, see who we got to deal with, and just take it from there. Do
you have a preference or favorite track between Attica and Fremont?
Man, that's a tough one because I've been to a lot of racetracks, so I do have quite a few favorites. But between Fremont and Attica, I like the wing speed of Attica and the wideness and, you know, just the overall layout of the track itself. But I'm from Fremont. There's nothing like winning a race at Fremont. It just doesn't beat it. They got a covered grandstand. It's awesome.
Do you feel you perform better at one track or the other?
I don't know. I guess I've got more wins at Attica, I guess, but I don't know. I feel I like them both a lot. I really do.
You did get you just have the one feature win this year at Fremont.
Yeah, just one this year. Yep.
Was that pretty big for you?
Yeah, it was pretty big, especially, not even knowing that you're going to race and getting my dad out of retirement since he's, the Clark deal started up and retired, and getting him out and then getting back with Jamie. And that was just big for everybody because they were on the struggle bus too. So it was just a confidence booster for everybody, and everybody needed that.
So how much would it mean to you if you are able to sneak ahead of both Paul and Jamie and win the second ever Attica Fremont Championship Series for the 305s?
That'd be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. My dad's got one of these deals with Bobby and my brother, so it'd be cool to have my name there next to those guys and my dad be a part of that. But it'd be also as well equally as cool to get Jamie Adams' first championship. He ain't been doing this long, so it'd be really cool for everybody, not just me. All the people that help, his wife, his kids, my dad, my boy, my mom. It'd be super cool for everybody.
So what are the plans going forward, regardless as to what happens this weekend? Are you going to stay with these guys for next year? Are you going to take next year off in golf, or what's going on?
I'll definitely get my golfing in. Don't be fooled, that's for sure. But the plan is, as of now, we're sealed up together for 2021, and probably just stick around here and race local stuff. Probably just be the same crew, Jamie, my dad, and I, and Renee, and do the same old deal, I would imagine.
Run for points at Attica and Fremont and the AFCS?
Yes, sir. Got to do the old triple, the three-peat.
Good luck with that. No, that'd be quite an accomplishment.
Matt, you were talking that you were talking that you run some in the trucks too. Do you find it's difficult doing double duty, jumping from one to the other, because obviously they drive a whole lot different?
It's not super crazy, like physically demanding wise, but they totally drive different. I feel like a dirt truck kind of drives like a non-wing car. If you can keep the ass out without them getting tight, you're going to be pretty good. You'll have speed, but once you go, I raced dirt truck for I think 3 years or so like that, and then I went to a sprint car for a couple years, and then got back down to a dirt truck, which kind of slowed everything down for me in the dirt truck. It kind of helped me, but it's not too crazy going back and forth. It's honestly a lot of fun.
Have you ever run a 410?
I've never ran a 410. I have not.
Would any plan? I mean, if a ride would come up, would that be something that you would look forward to?
Absolutely, they're hard to come by, so you need to jump on every one you get.
Well, with your resume, I have to believe that there's somebody that's taking a serious look at you.
Well, that would be awesome. That'd be super cool.
And we're going to help you out because we have this thing where guests on this show tend to go on and win. Cap Henry, for instance, he was a guest earlier this season, and look at the season he's had.
Well, that's good. I'll take the good juju. I like that.
So you got to get a couple wins this weekend for us. Then keep that going.
I will definitely try.
Right.
We expect it.
Yeah. No pressure or anything.
Yeah, I know.
Any sponsors you need to give a shout out to that helps support you?
Yeah, for sure. Jamie and Renee Adams, they're obviously the owners of this deal, and they do a lot for us, not just on the car, but keeping food in their bellies and Gatorades and all that stuff. Take care of it. But my dad, he came along and he's just keeping again, and people that throw some love our way, 818 Club and Speed Shark Graphics, Kurt Carhoff and the gang, that helps us out a ton, and automatic fire protection and ears for one. Drexel Power Sports is a good power plant, so we've got a good people in the car. DRS shop. So,
all right, man. Well, we appreciate the time and wish you luck this weekend.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for being here, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Matt Foos, running for that championship there, the Attica Fremont Championship Series 305s, and actually be running for, I think it's 1,500. I saw on Facebook they upped that final race at Fremont for the 305s.
Scott, it's amazing that you mentioned Cap Henry, because Dean Henry asked if we would mention the fact that In the Big D's Pizza J&J sponsored sprint car at Wayne County last week, Cap Henry won a $13,000 to win main event.
That Pete Jacobs Memorial, very big win for Cap and all his crew. Glad to see that. Talking about the AFCS series, Dwight, like I said, I saw Dwayne Hancock in the room earlier. It's amazing what he's done with that series and just the second season this year, especially with the climate of racing this year with the COVID-19 and everything. For Dwayne to be able to continue to put that show on for everybody and the payouts that have been coming to both the 410 class and the 305, kudos to Dwayne and all his people with the AFCS.
Yeah,
and it is a big deal. Thank
all the sponsors that stuck with him too.
Amen.
And hopefully he'll do this again next year. Hopefully it'll be a little easier for him. I'm hoping that this whole crap will be over with and we can be full grandstands and no canceled racing unless it rains.
Amen. Hopefully it's easier on all of us.
Yeah. So, and we'll probably have we always have Dwayne on during the off season talking about where he's at with things, and he even put some money together for that Attica Oakshade late model series too. He's a busy guy running that.
Yes,
Napa.
He is. Him and I have had a great friendship over the years, and we give each other a lot of flack. But there's nobody in racing that I think cares as much about the sport as Dwayne Hancock.
Oh, and he does that the auction too.
Yeah, the Hoserville, Ohio.
Yes, I was thinking hose. I was like hose something. I couldn't remember what it was.
Well, and that he gives so much, but really doesn't get much in return other than some gratitude from the racers. So, yeah, that's a big deal.
So go support him. Go buy some stuff from Napa. Brian, Archbold, and Wasion, I believe, are the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also he's got a show, check out QCT out of Bryan. It's on Mondays at 12, I think.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had you on, didn't he, Ron? And
yes,
I missed
he
that.
did. That was a fun hour. We had a good time.
All right, let's talk about some racing news before we get to upcoming races this weekend and a chance to win a Big D's Pizza. Play some How Many in a little bit. First, shout out to Buddy Kofoid. He earned his first ever USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series victory over the weekend. So congratulations to him. He's another guy that can do just about anything, drive just about anything.
Quickly developing into one of those talents that can jump in anything and be very fast. And enjoy seeing Buddy Kofoid while you can. There's a chance we'll see him moving up higher as soon as somebody catches that in their eye view. What
is higher to you?
To me, I would love to see some of these guys start going back to Indy, but obviously NASCAR right now is the standard moving up point for a lot of these guys.
Well, jumping ahead in my notes here, speaking of Indy, Chip Ganassi Racing has announced a 2-year partnership with Jimmy Johnson that'll see the 83-time Cup Series winner explore the possibility of racing full road and street course calendar in the NTT IndyCar Series for both 2021 and 2022.
Very impressive. Like I said, I've never been a big Jimmy fan, but the man can drive.
Yeah. In late July, Johnson tested a CGR on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course and fulfilled a childhood dream of driving an IndyCar. Now he'll look to take the next step, become a series regular. So that answers the question that I think kind of when people were asking, because this season's been weird and, fans haven't been allowed, if he'd come back and do another final NASCAR season, he's already looking ahead to something else.
And what a something else that is, to drive for Ganassi in an IndyCar, one of the absolute top teams in the series. So it should be fun to watch Jimmy. I obviously compete for wins.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a believe it when I see it kind of guy. Speaking of the ARCA race at Toledo on Saturday, there was a note that online ticket sales, there are tickets still available for this weekend. I know they have a $1,500. Jerry is designing my first T-shirt.
It's already designed.
All right. I shouldn't read the comments while I'm reading things here. Tickets still available for the ARCA race at Toledo Speedway. They're going to stop the online ticket sales 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So you can still get tickets online until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. After that, all remaining tickets will go back on sale at the track on a first-come, first-served basis on race day. And the ticket office will open at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So if they have any tickets left after the online ticket sales end Friday, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, then you might have a chance still to get in. So it could be a pretty good race, too, with, like Ron was saying, it's a combined series event, the East, ARCA Menards East and ARCA Menards proper, I'll call it. So, moving on. Did you hear about this, guys? The Auto Club Speedway is going to be reconstructed, possibly reconstructed, I should say, into a half-mile short track as soon as next year.
I read that it is pretty well a done deal after the 2021 season to have it ready for 2022. Have you seen the design for it?
Yeah, it looked like just a shrunk down Auto Club Speedway. It's like Bristol in real sharp corners, but the front stretch is bowed. You know, it's like a D-shaped.
Going to be a little bit different for a half mile, but it's supposed to be super high banked, so it ought to still be pretty fast.
So it'll be a California version of Bristol.
I think so. I think we're looking at something that could be a game changer for NASCAR, hopefully to bring some new fans back in.
That'll be the place to go if you're looking for revenge on one of your fellow competitors.
It's kind of cool, though, that it's a new track and it's a short track. You know, all the NASCAR tracks have been bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mile and a half.
Yeah, cookie cutter. The Athletic reported that NASCAR submitted a site plan to San Bernardino County officials to remodel the 2-mile superspeedway. The reported goal would be to transform the track in time for the 2022 event on the new short track layout. Construction is expected to begin following the spring NASCAR weekend at the former California Speedway, which has been hosting NASCAR races since anyone?
07 or 97.
Yeah, you got it. 1997. Bubba Wallace, you wanted to talk about this, Ron. He announced just today that he will not return to Richard Petty Motorsports, and I did see that Richard Petty Motorsports even offered him a share in the company, ownership in the company. And,
Scott, I had heard that when all of the controversy went down, 6 weeks ago, that
with the new stuff.
Yeah. At that point, he had been offered a stake in Richard Petty Motorsports, and I had read that that had already happened. So, is he really walking away from a team that he has a financial interest in?
I don't know. The article I read made it sound like it was just offered to him, and he had not accepted that. But I'm wondering if he's got something already lined up because he's going to finish out the season at Richard Petty Motorsports in the 43 car. But I'm guessing he probably has something already lined up or just about a done deal, just can't announce it. That's my guess.
There was talk of him going to Ganassi next year. Yeah, so going to be interesting to see what's going on, because I did read Matt Kenseth has said that he doesn't expect to be racing next year.
Well, nobody expected Matt Kenseth to be racing for the past couple of years. So, anyhow.
And it begs to ask, where's Kyle Larson going?
Oh, yeah, that's true. And the rumors have been swirling about him going to Stewart. So,
yeah.
But now there's a seat open at Hendrick next year. Am I not correct?
I believe so.
I don't know. I try to stay away from the silly season stuff just because it.
Oh, it's fun, Scott. You just got to throw it out there and see what sticks.
Yeah, I guess. In some tragic news, semi-tragic news, not good news, we'll put it that way. In bad news, a fire erupted Saturday night while fueling Rick Eckart's car at Port Royal Speedway. The fire he was backed up to his hauler, and the fire entered the rear of the hauler, burning Rick Eckart's grandson, Lennox. He suffered burns and was airlifted to a burn facility. I saw an update. It sounded like he was doing okay, but still kind of a scary thing. And then there was all these press releases, and Ron, you would be more of an expert on this as to, I guess you're saying static may have triggered that, sparked that fire?
Scott, what they think happened was the funnels that we fill the fuel cells with. The filler on the fuel cell is very near the top of the deck, so there's no way you can easily fill it without using a funnel. The funnels were originally just that, a funnel, and then they started putting a little brass insert in them to catch the big chunks of anything that might be in your fuel jug. And then they started putting a nylon mesh in the filler. And recently, somebody came out with a nice little cartridge that's very much like the fuel filter that we use inline in the race cars. And it appears as though static electricity with the fuel going through this cartridge filter, and at that point, the fuel is kind of vaporized because it's splashing and going through the the filter becomes statically charged and ignites the fuel vapor. And that's what happened with the instance that you were talking about. And I guess everybody is now going away from those cartridge filters. And if you've got one, take the filter out, please.
So, and do you sell funnels then that don't have the filter, or filters that won't?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The
filters are kind of an insert. You've got the funnel, and it just
like
goes down in
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little cartridge, and
they also
an
make
issue with them.
They also make those 5-gallon fuel jugs that have like the hose coming out the top that you can use instead of a funnel, right?
Now, I wonder if instead of the nylon mesh, if maybe they could make some sort of a metal filter and do some intensive testing before they release them. So, yeah, it's definitely a dangerous thing going around. And please, if you've got one of those insert filters, take it out and throw it away.
Well, okay. You can still use the funnel, though, right? As long as
absolutely. The funnel seems to not be the issue.
All right. I was going to talk about my incident from this last weekend, too, but
yeah, go ahead.
I think we can move on from that now.
Let's talk about it. That was a big hit. That was very scary on all ends.
And Scott, it was something that just happened so quickly you couldn't possibly have had time to respond to it.
Here, I'll show you how quickly it happened. And granted, this camera view was more over to the right. I didn't have any idea that there was a car that had spun in front of this car. Oh, and of course, it's going to go back to the beginning instead of where I had it queued up. Hold on, I gotta move this.
Fast forward.
I can. I had to move our scroll though, so I can get to it.
You have the technology.
I do, just not always the smarts to do it. All right, here we go. They stopped real quick, and that hurt initially.
It was sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened so quick that from the tower even I didn't realize what was going on. I looked down and the red car, Miller's car, was rolling slowly towards the front stretch wall, and basically the accident was already over. I mean, it was boom and done.
Yeah, that car spun in front of him, and he hit that car. That car I didn't see, so all of a sudden, I didn't even know what was going on. All of a sudden, I saw the back end get bigger, and it came into and I didn't even have time to process it. I was on the gas coming off the corner, and just pow! And I kind of feel bad for him because he got it twice then, and up into the wall. So hopefully he's okay, but the belts did what they did. Your bumper that you put on there, Ron, that did what it was supposed to do.
Well, and we try not to build massive front bumpers for that specific reason, Scott, so that they give up their life so that you don't. Let that bumper die.
And it did knock the wind out of me pretty good initially, and I was a little sore once I got back in the pits. But you said I was going to be sore on Sunday, the following day.
I really thought you'd be. I thought you'd have some strap marks, and I thought you'd be pretty sore Sunday morning.
I mean, I probably should have a Hans device. I do use one of those neck collars that I got from you, and I think that helped for my head going forward because I didn't have any time to prepare for it. But the belts held me and everything else. So And you've had a pretty hard hit a couple weeks ago in that late model heat event.
Yeah, I did.
And that you were fine from that too, right?
Yeah,
or not so much.
The next morning, I had a little bit of a sore spot in my neck. 2 days it worked out, and I was fine. Well, as good as I could ever be.
You could have just slept wrong, right? Maybe. All right, never mind. You know what? I did hurt myself in the shower. I probably shouldn't go into this because that was a bad way to start off this story. But the other day, I felt it was I think it was it yesterday?
Do I need to call timeout on this?
No, this is okay. This is okay. I was in the shower and I felt a drip on my head. That wasn't from the shower because it was like more from straight above me where I have a bathroom fan. And I went to look up real quick. And when I looked up, I torqued something in my back, which hurt me a lot worse than that crash at the track on Saturday. And I thought, well, that's stupid. I hurt myself more in the shower just by looking up than getting into a crash at high speed on a racetrack.
Apparently, it might have primed you for it.
The race car is safer is what I'm going for. It turned out to be just condensation dripping down, if anybody was wondering. My house isn't leaking. So that's all. All right, we're moving on from that.
Our associate producer said that Lennox was released from the hospital yesterday.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Somebody calling Ron Miller race cars right now?
Of course.
Well, we don't want to keep you from your business there. Let's play How Many. Wow. Last week's How Many was how many 410s were going to be at Attica on Saturday for the Attica ambush. And that number that I'm going with that I got off of the post from Attica. He got her secretary. He's got
That's it.
That number was 34. So that's the number I'm going with. That was the official number. And Jerry.
It's a shame on Friday.
What's that?
It's a shame that we didn't use Friday's car count.
What was the car count on Friday? It was higher, wasn't it?
I think it was 41.
Oh, and that would have been the exact number that Jerry guessed, but he was closest anyways because we both guessed higher than that. So congratulations, your first in-studio win. My brother's already guessing online here. He just went with the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. Or not Guardians of the Galaxy, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Answer to everything universe. 42. So, well, first, before we get to this week's How Many, our last week's winner was Scott Warner of Millstream. He's going to have a whole bunch. He's going to have so many Big D's pizzas that he won. He can just put them out on a buffet the first night of racing at Millstream.
He may have shot himself in the foot this week. I saw up in the scroll early that he already made his guess for this week of 17 blind without knowing what the how many question was. So
yeah, and you can't do it twice or you get black flag. Oh, that's what I forgot to bring. I was supposed to. There's a flag up in the booth at Oakshade that Matt said I should bring to use in case anybody guesses twice because they get black flag. John Young's taking a shot in the dark too. All right. Well, I guess we already kind of said what it was going to be earlier, but Scott Warner guessed 35, so he was just one off, and he was the closest guess there. He gets a Big D's pizza. Get with Dean Henry. Get your Big D's pizza there. This week's How Many competitors are going to be in the Arc Menards Royal Truck and Trailer 200 at Toledo Speedway on Saturday? We did the this for How Many for at least one of the other races that were there, and there weren't many cars. I think it was the East Series race. There was like 14 or something. So expecting some more in this. I saw that Rich had said something about a number. I don't want to give it away and tell everybody what it was, so I'm not going to.
But it's significantly what they had at the Arca East race.
Yes. So you want to play along, go ahead and put your guess in the Facebook Live comments. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, Google, or iTunes, or somehow not on Facebook, on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, too. Go on. Rich knows the answer. Shh. Go ahead and find our broadcast here. The video will stay up on Facebook. You can just put your guess in at a later time, but it can't be after the race. We'll say till 2 o'clock on Saturday. That's when the ticket office opens at Toledo. So you have until 2 o'clock on Saturday, the 12th, that would be. So you get your guess in. So, Jerry, what's your guess? How many?
27.
Wow, that I think is a little optimistic. That's just what I'm thinking, though. Yes, Rich, you can play. Anybody can play, but I think you already guessed because you already put a number up. What do you got, Ron?
21.
That would have been what I was going to. Is Kathy going to guess?
You going to guess, Kathy?
Your secretary? 22, is that what
my secretary says 22.
You're going to be paying for that later. I'm going to go with 20 then.
Is it okay to sleep with your secretary, Scott?
I don't even want. No, we're going to just move on. We'll just sweep that under the rug. That didn't even happen. In your case, yes, Ron. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Just not with your body guy. You can't with the body.
Dude, I've been sleeping with that woman for 54 years.
So let's talk about some upcoming races this weekend.
Moving right along.
There's a lot going on this weekend. Of course, tonight, first night of the Intercontinental Classic, night number 1 at Eldora. No spectators. It's only streaming for the weekend on Flow Racing. That started at 6:30. I haven't seen any updates. Anybody got any updates from that?
They had the pill draw, and I started to watch it and turned it off to get ready for this. So
I'm sorry. We'll wrap things up so you can go check that out.
Priorities.
Yes. And whoever guesses this, if somebody guesses the same number for the how many, whoever guessed it first gets credit for that. So if you said 21 first, John, then you'll get credit for that. So don't worry about it. It's all good. We keep track of these things. Friday night.
Just a copycat, that's all.
Friday night, tomorrow night, Attica Raceway Park. It's Kistler Racing Products. John Wright's Custom Chrome Plating presents Mark Keegan Classic Season Championship Night. I read that wrong. Mark Keegan Classic Season Championship Night. It's not a Classic Season Championship Night. Mark Keegan Classic. It's going to be an Attica Fremont Championship Series event, 410 sprints, UMP late models, and the AFCS 305 sprints. Double points for all classes, I do believe. And gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. General admission tickets, just $15 there at Attica Raceway Park. Night number 2, also tomorrow night for the Intercontinental Classic, featuring the late models there at Eldora. No spectators again, as we mentioned. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot what it was. So apparently it wasn't that important. Moving along.
Just quick time at Eldora, according to Dwayne Hancock.
Okay. Timing and scoring snapshot. Oh, I got it. Matt has given us an update here, and it's not loading for me. It's taking a while. So we'll go on to Saturday things, and then we'll take a look at that. Saturday, of course, Toledo Speedway in action with the Royal Truck and Trailer 200. First time this year, Toledo Speedway is having fans. So cool for them. There are still tickets available, and that's going to be the Arca Menard Series in East. It's a combined event again. Gates open at 3. The ticket office at 2. So if you wait to try and get tickets in person, you can do that. But I would get there early. Gates open at 3. And last week when Scott said that fans wouldn't be allowed in for practice, he had contacted me Friday, the day after we had him on, and said that fans will be allowed in for practice. They manage some kind of deal.
Cool.
So still got to wear your mask.
They can make a day of it.
Yeah, still got to wear your mask. Still got to sit in your section, and once you're in, you can't go back out to your car until you're leaving, I suppose. I mean, you can go back out to your car, but you're not going to get back in again.
And concessions will be open.
Yeah, I saw that the same price.
The menu's going to be a little bit limited, but you don't have to worry about coming in and starving.
Tickets $25 for that ARCA race, and the race is scheduled to start at 5 o'clock. Rain date is Sunday, September 13th. I don't think that they'll need to use that rain date, though. So don't forget, we got Ryan Weekman coming up here momentarily with your weekend weather pit stop forecast. Again, Eldora in action for the final night of the Intercontinental Classic, night number 3, featuring the late models. That invite deal, which you can watch on Flow Racing, starts at 6:30. And Jimmy Owens looks to have the fastest time there for tonight's action, this Thursday night, if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio. Brandon Overton second, quick. Then it's Tim McCready, Josh Richards, Ricky Weiss, Josh Rice, Jonathan Davenport, Jason Fager, Zach Mitchell, and Brandon Shepard, top 10 times there. Kent Robinson, 11th. See if I recognize somebody. Jeep Van Wormer's way down there at 42. Matt Miller, 45. Brian Shirley, 46. Although I did get an update about Brian Miller. It looks like he's done for the weekend. So apparently he had some kind of mechanical issues. So there's your update for the Intercontinental Classic. It's just a weird name. I don't like it. It's because the World 100's postponed until next year. And Oakshade in action Saturday night. Season championship night. Late model Sportsman Bombers Compacts. Gates open to 4, racing at 7. General admission tickets are just $14. Fremont Speedway. It's been a few weeks since they've been in action. They'll have the doors open at 4 o'clock for the Attica Fremont Championship Series Championship Night, the final night of competition for the AFCS this year, featuring the 410 sprints, $5,000 to win. The 305 sprints was $1,000, and now I believe it's up to $1,500 to win. Dirt trucks, $1,000 to win for them, and that racing will start at 7 o'clock. General admission tickets just $18. Sandusky Speedway off this weekend, but they'll be back next weekend with their season championship night. So, blown engine on Brian Shirley is the report I'm seeing. And Frank Heckenass apparently looks like he may have had some problems too. So, yeah, that's what's going on this weekend. How about we find out what the weather's going to do for this weekend? It's been kind of cold and crappy today.
Dismal, yeah.
It'd make for a fast racetrack today, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would have definitely been tacky, and horsepower definitely would have been up.
All right, let's check out Ryan Weekman and that weekend weather pit stop.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Let's start Friday on what is a busy race slate this weekend. We'll stop at Eldora and Attica, where race start temperatures will likely be in the 70s. Could see them drop quickly into the 60s and 50s by the end of race time. Similar conditions Saturday as far as temperatures go. We've got Toledo, Eldora, Oakshade, and Fremont. Temperatures again likely in the 70s. It'll fall into the evening, and look for a chance for a few scattered showers as a cold front comes through the area. Could have some gusty winds with that. For WTOL 11, I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
So hopefully we'll get the races in this weekend. At least the Saturday nights. We got to get the races in quick, is what it sounds like. Or maybe whatever's coming will move. I don't know. I'm not a weather guy.
It's going to be scattered. It'll go around. We'll get the vortex going, and then we'll be okay.
That vortex will definitely work as long as it comes in a little bit later.
All right. And don't forget to check out that post. Get us nominated for the Best of Toledo, the Toledo City paper. Best of Toledo. I don't know. What do they call that? It's not really a contest. I guess it is.
Best of Toledo.
Yeah. Nominate Hammer Down Racing Report for Best of Toledo podcasts. We were nominated, like you said, a couple years ago. We've missed the cut last year. Didn't get on the ballot. But the first year, and I guess it was 2018, we were on there. Didn't win. So this year, let's get on the ballot, and then let's win this sucker.
We know we're the best. We just
yeah.
And we obviously have great listeners. So yeah, there's no reason we can't do this.
So again, if you want to know where to vote, just hit up our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammerdown Racing Report. I have a pinned post on there. It says Best of Toledo on it.
You know, Scott, this year we've got Jerry Keyser behind us, and boy, that's got to be good for another, I don't know, 700,000-800,000 votes.
I'm thinking at least 1 million. I mean, why just 800 or 900?
5, but that's
all right.
Jerry, you got to get those Lima folks excited about it.
Hey, Lima Land folks are excited to talk racing at all this year. Unfortunately, we just don't get to see any this year in Lima.
Well, maybe someday soon.
Hey, that's why we get to come to Oakshade, watch some great late model and sportsman bombers and compacts every week. It's definitely been a great year to travel and see a little bit of racing elsewhere, the tracks that are open. So, it has been a chance for me to spread my wings a little bit this year.
And it's really kind of crazy, Scott. What have we had? 12 shows in at Oakshade?
There's been a lot. I know when we checked before we talked to Jake Rundell a few weeks back that we were actually ahead of schedule from the year before because of all the rainouts.
Right.
That we didn't start until we started almost the same time as the year prior, but it was all Mother Nature and not stupid COVID stuff.
Yeah, I know last year in 2019 we lost the entire month of May at Lima Land. So,
Right.
I mean, it's finally we have a great year weather-wise, and thanks to COVID-19.
That's the way it works, so unfortunately.
That's all good.
Here we go. This is what I'm trying to do. I was going to bring up what I was talking about, what you need to click on to vote for us. There we go, right there. The Toledo City Paper 2020 Best of Toledo nominations. So just click on that. Instructions are right above it.
Vote often. Share with your friends.
If you share it with your friends, make sure to tell them what to do because the stuff that I type doesn't show up when you share this post. It just shares the Toledo City Paper deal there. So very important to say vote for the Hammer Down Racing Report because they give away Big D's Pizza. Something that wasn't on my prep here, but I wanted to mention that I happened to notice was at Butler this weekend. They're having the Sprints on Dirt. It's odd.
They're back.
Yeah, I thought that that series had some serious turmoil at the beginning of the season, before the season began, with ownership falling through, some bad deals going on, and I thought they were taking this year off. So I was surprised to see that they're actually running.
Well, it's like a couple of other tracks, If you can sneak in one headline division that is a surprise, it's going to be a good thing. And
Well, it was cool. I mean, it was cool to see that series back. Back on somebody's
Sod
schedule.
being back, Millstream maybe doing something.
That's not a spoiler or anything. So I'm assuming we may have an announcement by next week on that, right?
That's my guess.
All right. Rich France says practice begins at 1:45 for the ARCA deal on Saturday. Just now reading that. So, thanks again to our sponsors, and I think I was supposed to get with Charlie because I think Freeze Frame's supposed to come back on board as a sponsor again. If you want to be a sponsor, $30 will get you on the scroll, and we'll talk about you for at least a month's worth of programs. It's 4 shows. That's what I'm going with. Hey, look, I see a Millstream logo behind. There you go. Wrong shoulder. So if you want to help out, especially during the off season to keep this going, because I'm not sure we're going to be able to get back into our actual iHeartRadio studios. Probably not until there's a vaccine, I'm guessing, and it doesn't sound like. From what I hear, maybe that'll be coming by election day because everything's political with COVID for some reason.
Scott, are you making a political statement?
Yep, that was my political statement right there.
For the whole year?
That's it. I'm done. I'm out. No more politics for me. That just pisses. It's just a topic that's just it's too frustrating, and you're not going to change anybody's mind.
If you had grabbed that mic, you could have done a mic drop on that one.
Yeah, it's on video, and I get in trouble if it broke the mic. So here, I got this one over here. This one looks old. You ready? Done. Okay, I'm out. That's how we're going to finish the show from now on. Thanks again to our sponsors. Ron Miller Race Cars, 734-856-7223. He's got race cars. He's got parts. He's got safety equipment. Safety equipment's pretty big. He's got those funnels without the cartridge in it, so you won't catch on fire when you're fueling up your car. I'll probably need some new belts, too, pretty soon. So he's got those. Oakshade Raceway, again, season championship night this weekend. Still, only a few more weeks left in the season, too. And we actually are going to get a whole series in, or a whole season in, it looks like, despite COVID. So they got season championship this weekend. Bomber Spectacular, again, paying, I'm not sure yet. The last I talked to Chrissy, the $1,000 hadn't been officially announced on that Bomber Spectacular, plus the extra $500 from Get It Done Towing. And that was going to someone who's been racing at Oakshade 80% of the time this season. has been their 80% of it's complicated. Right. And then the final show, 2 weeks from this weekend, is topless late models, I believe. You going topless, Ron? Everybody wants to see that.
Well, I think the late models have to go topless.
That's true.
The sportsmen and bombers, it's optional. Compacts, not at all.
Yeah, not an option there. Kester Mowing, again, thanks to Steve for doing my landscaping and everything. Give him a call. He's the season's winding down for him, so he may have some more time to be doing some things here. 419-466-3801. Big D's and Clyde, thanks to them. And mention the Hammer Down Race Report. Save 10% off any order. We drove out to Clyde about a month ago, whenever that was, just to eat there with my I don't want to call them elderly, my older parents, who may be the high risk category. They actually went all the way out there and ate, and I think they enjoyed it. And my mom is super picky. She has like 3 restaurants she goes to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Millstream Speedway also, and hopefully we'll have an announcement from Scott very soon on what's going on. It's been a tough year for him. He's been working on getting that track back together, getting the cobwebs knocked loose so that they can go back racing there. And if it doesn't happen this fall, it'll definitely be happening next year. So looking forward to that.
Scott Warner from Millstream's been watching, and he's kind of tight-lipped. So I firmly believe we'll have something to talk about next week.
All right. I hope so. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kimmer and field correspondent Matt Swander, also Doug Dock. We'll be back next Thursday. I'm going to be on vacation next week, so you guys have got to come up with a guest for next week's show. So between you two, figure it out. I'm going whitewater rafting in West Virginia and won't be back until late Tuesday night.
Really?
So you guys will have to figure it out. Well, we'll see who wins this weekend. Yeah. You might be able to reach me on a cell phone, but not on Monday. I'll be going over waterfalls, and I'm not bringing my phone with me. But some way or another,
wear your helmet.
Yes, they do.
Seat belts, neck support.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll be back next Thursday in some fashion, form. 7 o'clock. Make sure to tune in live on Facebook and YouTube, or catch us again on demand on iHeartRadio, Google, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're there. And I remember to hit record this time, so I don't have to get the audio from the video here. That means nothing to nobody except for me. So that's important. And one of these buttons is the show close part, but I'm not sure which button it is, so we're just going to play the video here. So we're done. How's that? We ready to drop the mic?
Drop it.
All right. Okay, here we go. See you next week. We out. Hammer Down Race Report. Don't forget to nominate us.
Please.
Okay? Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Ron. There you go. See you next week. Well, you can only vote once for nominate. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Mike, gone. Bam. We're out.
See y'all next week. Thanks for watching.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio.